Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
guys
Well,
like Candace Owens?
anyways, Parker.
No.
Yeah, have you guys watched her thing on Kamala? Have you watched her?
Kamala.
You know, how could
Just say
you?
Harris. Sherry, just say Harris.
Well, Harris, how could you guys?
Easier.
How could you guys trust? How could you guys trust her if she can't even tell the truth just about her life? Like she isn't even telling the
What
truth
did she
about
lie
her life.
about?
She talks that, I mean, I went through Candace Owens facts, and she talks about in her book, she shows pictures of certain aunts that aren't her aunt, that are not even related to her.
This is a cultural thing. She grew up half Indian, and I can speak on this. You call a lot of people aunts and uncles when they're just like family friends and they're super present in your life. Like it's a more communitarian culture. It's not that deep. And she'd even addressed this before. This is like a non-issue that people are blowing up for no reason.
But the thing is, the reason why it is so deep is because she's claiming that, first of all, she talks about being like, just like you said.
Trump claimed that he went down in a helicopter with like Willie Brown or something, and it wasn't even him. So like, I don't know if honesty is what we want to talk about here when we're comparing the candidates.
I mean, but she lies a lot. She literally changes her.
No one's going to say that Kamala Harris has never lied in her life.
Introduces herself. Do you guys watch how she introduces herself? Every single thing that she throws, every single thing she throws, she introduces herself, and she has a different demeanor about her. And then the point of, why does she have Megan? Why do we want somebody who has Megan Thee Stallion twerking at their thing? Why do we? You guys, that's what you got.
Wait,
Not saying
wait,
I love Megan Thee Stallion.
That's your issue?
But what?
Are you more of an Ice Spice person? Is that why?
It's the point. It's the point. Why is she doing that? It's not necessarily the fact that she has it there, but as a president,
I'd rather see Meg Thee Stallion than Kid Rock, honestly, and maybe that's just my music taste.
The issue is that we're twerking at a presidential gathering in front of children, in front of. I'm not saying that, but that's okay.
Sherry, where was she doing that?
You guys,
she was like dancing for a song, but she wasn't doing that. Appreciate the handout. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, she was. Watch the video.
Wait, by the way, even if she was, what's the point, right? Who cares?
The point, what do you mean who cares? The point is that's not appropriate. That's not appropriate.
And Trump grabbing people by the keywords is appropriate?
Wait, so Trump having Kid Rock on, or the guy recently that just said Puerto Rico is a literal island of garbage, right? That's not an issue?
I mean, to me.
Wait, is that more? Which one would you rather have? Would you rather have the person who was twerking on stage, if that's true, right? Or would you rather have the person saying that Puerto Rico is a floating island of garbage?
Wait, but didn't George Lopez say all Mexicans were thieves? Like, let's clutch our pearls a little harder, right?
Wait, when? And I would disagree with that too.
He said it at a Kamala rally.
Kamala, no, where? Show me the clip.
Look it up. Look up George Lopez joke. Look up George Lopez.
Yeah, Google George Lopez joke, and you'll find this one specific thing, I'm sure.
He said, "Oh well, Trump said he'd build a border wall in one night. You better not leave those materials outside, or they're going to be gone." Like it's the same thing. Like,
wait, by the way, I just want to wait. He said it about people who are wait. So is he just saying like that he doesn't think that? And that he's joking about Trump doing that, and he's Mexican himself.
I don't know. You look at the joke and interpret it for yourself.
Is he Mexican? Is he Mexican?
Is George Lopez Mexican? Yes, I assume he's a Mexican. But so does that make it like better for you? I guess like that seems kind of like identity politics. Okay. I mean, Tony Hinchcliffe is
he's literally talking. He's talking about Trump's rhetoric, whereas Tony is literally not talking about anyone's rhetoric.
Yeah,
he's specifically perpetuating the racism himself.
But did Trump say it, or did Tony Hinchcliffe say it? Wait,
you don't understand? It was, but you were talking about having people, right, who like are not legitimate, who are like doing things that are unprofessional at rallies. And I gave you an example of someone doing it at Trump's recent Madison Square Garden rally.
And I gave you an example of a Mexican saying all Mexicans are thieves at a Kamala rally.
Yeah, like, talking about how bad Trump's rhetoric is.
No. Look up the joke. He was saying that Mexicans would steal all the materials.
Take the $10. Thank you so much.
He was saying Mexicans would steal all the materials if you left them out overnight. That was his joke. And I thought it was funny. And I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to clutch my pearls over that, but it's a joke, right? Do I think Tony Hinchcliffe should have been at that rally?
You so much for the
Probably not. Probably not. Like, I can agree with you on that.
Do you clutch your pearls and Meg Thee Stallion twerking then, or do you think that's also okay?
I don't care. I literally don't care.
Fair
like
enough.
about twerking and jokes and all this stuff. Like that is not like I'm not gonna like change my vote because someone twerked or someone made a joke.
So if
Like
Trump
that's
twerked, you'd still vote for him?
if Trump twerked, I'd actually probably
Definitely.
definitely vote for him.
No, wow. Honestly, I
Well,
might have to switch
guys,
over too.
this is going to probably be my last one, and then I'm going to go. And I do appreciate all your guys' insight. It's not that I'm not listening, I just have my opinion too. But regardless,
Wait, by
I
the
do
way,
want
wait,
to
can we
make
just
this one.
clarify before this? How is this isn't someone who's from Puerto Rico making a joke about Puerto Rico, right? This is specifically someone making a joke about Puerto Rico who's not from there, right? And is using it to perpetuate racism. So I do think that we need
How
to
did
like make a
how is it
distinction
being
because, for example, there are Puerto Ricans making fun of the fact that Tony said that. Right, that doesn't mean that they're specifically saying that, and it doesn't mean
dude
that it's wrong because they're Puerto Rican, right?
Parker?
They
I
can
think
they can
it's
they can call
oh
out the
my
bad
god,
rhetoric
dude.
from Tony Hitchcliffe.
Parker, I think it's a bad joke. Like it was the wrong
There wasn't
situation
just
for
that.
it.
There's also other things.
But no, I
Yeah, he
think
said he
what you
was
need to
carving
hear
watermelons with
and
black people. Like it was an
Yeah,
extremely
literally.
racist rant that he went
well,
on.
then why aren't we talking about that? Like you brought up the Puerto Rican joke first. Like it's you got to
They're
keep
both
moving the
bad.
goalposts. No, you're moving the goalposts. And
No,
what
this
I'm
was an
Not
saying,
moving
example
the
that was brought up
goalposts.
in response to her complaining about Meg Thee Stallion twerking. Parker didn't bring
oh,
that up.
I didn't hear her complaining about that. I don't care about that. I don't
Jacqueline,
care
thank you so
about
much for the
that. I don't care
$25 on
about.
PayPal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. That's the only
I
reason
don't
we brought
care.
this up.
No, and I don't care about the jokes either. And you
That's
shouldn't either
disgusting.
because
You should care about racism.
it's not racism. He's a
It is
roast
racism.
comic, dude. He's Tony Hinchcliffe. Have you ever watched his show? Like
Yeah, and
that's
he
what he
engages in
does,
racism.
dude. I can't
Yeah,
agree
he
with you
engages in
that
racism all the time. He
okay,
literally he literally talks about he literally has
um,
made jokes talking about going quote unquote halfsies with a halfsies on a slave. That's what he said. That's a joke that he made. A joke that he made. No, he's perpetuating
okay.
racism. He's
And so
perpetuating
you
bigotry, right?
and
That's what
so
he's
you
doing. It's not a joke. Okay?
so you equally hate Dave Chappelle as well, right? Like you clutch your pearls about his jokes as
If
well,
it
right?
depends on the joke that he
I
made.
just want
What
to
joke are you referencing that Dave Chappelle made? Because I
I don't
can
know,
disagree with
something
jokes. Yeah.
about trans people or something. I'm
Yes,
sure.
yes, I would
Yes.
disagree with
Okay.
making fun of trans
Okay.
people. Absolutely, I would disagree with that.
And I think the comedy universe would say there's like comedy and then there's like being serious about stuff. We can like we can actually even as people like look ourselves in the mirror and be like, I'm gonna actually talk shit about myself, and that's funny. And when you lose that, you lose there's just this element of free speech that you lose.
Comedy is subjective. Just because you think something's funny doesn't mean that it's not going to be racist when interpreted by other people.
I'm so sick of trying to find racism in
Mika, thank
everything
you for the
that
$5.
It
To Leah,
wasn't
thank you for the
comedy, I'll
dollar.
tell you that, because
We're
I
not
watched it. I
finding
didn't
in
laugh
everything.
once.
Yeah, we're not finding in everything. What we're doing is we're acknowledging when behavior is bad. And you, for some reason, can't call any of this behavior racist or bad. Because I think you're trying to
no,
protect the
I'm
fact
not
that either
saying
you
it's
do it in your
not.
life or people around you do it.
No. I'm saying there's bad jokes for sure, but like saying Puerto Rico is a floating island of
Of
garbage. He didn't
garbage, yeah,
call the
that's
people.
racism. Absolutely, that's
He didn't
racism.
call the people garbage. He called the island garbage, which
Who
is
lives on the
true.
island?
Seriously, like what?
There's a lot of garbage on the island. I mean, you can look
Oh
it
my
up.
God, are you trolling?
I mean, look it up. Since 2016, it's been inundated with garbage since the hurricane that
See what
happened
I
there.
mean? Now you have people believing it like you, right?
No,
Literally
look it
insane shit.
up, dude. Okay, then disprove me and say it's wrong that
And
since the
you
hurricane.
can't say it's garbage when it is the case that Donald Trump blocked her like funding specifically for Hurricane Maria, 13 to 20 billion dollars that would have specifically helped them invest in rebuilding those areas, right? And
Okay, and
also like what are
that's
you talking about?
no, I know, and that's the news you heard, and I watched the
What do you mean
literal.
just the news I heard that's what happened? That's what he did. He
But I
blocked the funding to Puerto Rico for 3 years.
okay, well, I'll have to look into that. What I saw was that the literal mayor was refusing to work with him, and made it a
You should also
complete
look into
debacle.
Trump wanting to refuse aid to California during wildfires, and then he found out that Orange County votes for him. That's the only reason he sent them the aid in the end.
I mean, you can talk about refusing aid when we look at North Carolina right now with Kamala and Biden. Like,
Kamala.
I'm sorry, Kamala and Biden. Like, why aren't they giving them money? They're sending it to Lebanon instead. Like, is that
What?
really the argument we're going to have?
They're
What?
sending North Carolinians to Lebanon?
No, they're sending money to Lebanon, and they're not sending any money to North
Do you
Imagine,
think that
Carolina.
they
imagine
can just
freaking
take
out
that
about
money and give it
humanitarian
to?
aid. Imagine freaking out about humanitarian aid to Lebanon when we have a $900 billion a year military budget.
What does that have to do with North Carolina?
Wait, you understand that we could be using that money specifically for North Carolinians? Also, you understand under Trump's administration, he diverted $157 million of FEMA funds specifically for migrant detention centers.
But in the same breath, we could use the same money we sent to Lebanon for people in North Carolina.
Wait,
Why are
you
we
know that
sending
you
it
know how
there?
much we sent to Lebanon? I'm
How
pretty
much?
sure it was pretty similar to the amount that I just referenced.
750 million, I think. 750
I
million.
don't think it was 700.
Also, if you have a problem with appropriations of funding, that's on Congress, not the president. The president can't just
True.
take foreign aid funds and
No,
send them to like North
you're right.
Carolina instead.
You're totally right. Yep.
Gloriani, thank you so much for the $50 on Cash App. Thank you so much. They said for Puerto Rico here, it's beautiful. We are highly offended. Can we get some W's for them in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And then
Yeah.
Athena wanted to ask a question, so I want to give Athena the ability to ask that question real quick.
I was gonna ask. I'm wondering. So this is not my question. I was gonna ask another question. When did America send money to Lebanon? I missed that memo.
I think recently they just approved a bill specifically for humanitarian aid. That could have just been a proposal though.
Okay, because I don't think that money was sent. Was it?
It might not have been sent. I know it was proposed for sure.
Yeah.
Humanitarian aid for Lebanon. They provided over the last year. It's 386 million. This is
Over
for
the last
vulnerable
year.
populations in Lebanon and Syria.
Okay, in Syria too. Okay. No, I wanted to ask a previous question. Do you think blackface is funny?
No.
Yeah, but you know that like at a certain point in time, blackface was considered comedy, right? During minstrel shows.
I guess. Sure.
So just because minstrel shows were considered funny for the dominant society, doesn't mean they were funny, right?
Like I said, I've never considered it funny. So.
No, I'm not saying if you consider it. I'm saying they were still considered comedy, though. Like people literally gathered up together watching minstrel shows in blackface and thought it was really funny to kiki and haha to it because it was just comedy.
So you're
Right.
saying that culture should have always reflected our current culture? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is that sometimes the dominant society can view dehumanizing rhetoric as comedy.
Right.
But just
so
because the dominant
culture
society
used to be
views
different. Right. Yeah. Culture
just
used
because
to
the
be
dominant just because the dominant society views dehumanizing rhetoric as funny doesn't mean that it's actually funny. Could also just be rhetoric used to normalize the dehumanization of certain groups of people. In this case, Puerto Ricans or Latinos or black people.
different. Or like Trump supporters, or like Mexicans that we say steal everything. Right. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, dehumanization of Mexicans. Trump does it on a regular basis.
So did George Lopez, and he's a Mexican. Weird. I mean, he made a joke
What does
that
that-
was
does that
not
make it
funny
any
either,
less-
according to your standards. He made a joke, according to you, was not funny to your standards. But you want to say, because he's a Mexican, he's allowed to say it. But it's still not funny. It's still not funny, is it?
So I mean, like back then, blackface to your standards might not be funny, but it's funny in general, right? By your logic, because some people find it funny.
No. What I'm literally saying is that culture has changed over time, right?
Yes.
And so maybe
And it
back
should
then
continue
it was
progressing,
funny.
right?
Right. So change culture.
Cool.
That's your job, not mine. My job is to.
Why is it my job to change it?
Because you apparently think that something's not funny, aka Puerto Rican jokes or Latino jokes. And so your job is now to convince the rest of America that those jokes are not funny.
Why
That's your
shouldn't the
job
dominant
now.
society do that as well? Like I'm a bit
Yeah,
confused. Why
dominate
should the
society.
dominant society that has the power to apply these labels to marginalized people choose to change it? Why should marginalized people have to change it?
Marginalized people don't have to change. You literally said these are the jokes that I think that are not funny. Okay, well now it's your job to convince everyone else that they're not funny.
No, it's not that they're
Otherwise,
not funny. It's not that they're not funny. It's the fact that they are used to normalize the dehumanization of people.
no, it's literally not, because black people make jokes about their own culture and about their own skin color. White
Yes,
people do the same
a
thing.
black
Latinos
person
do
which
the
is
same thing. Puerto
subjected.
Ricans do the same thing. And then even black people make fun of white people, and I find that funny. So tell me
No,
that it's
so
not funny, and then prove to me that.
it's not
And
the
then if you
same.
can
It's not the
prove,
same. If a black person is choosing maybe to make jokes about themselves because they're subjected to that type of racism and they do it amongst black people just for like the kicks of it, that's different than, let's say, like an almost all white crowd making fun of marginalized people while at the same time actively dehumanizing said people. We know what Donald Trump said about black people, right? He literally said that black people were too lazy to count his money, and he wants people wearing yarmulkes to count his money. We know that Donald Trump also prevented black people from renting apartments in his building, right? Multiple times.
no,
So
I don't know that.
the person who's actively discriminating black people when it comes to housing, actively discriminating black people, saying as if we are somehow racially just lazy, at the same time allowing the dehumanization of people at his rally. That's completely different than me with like a bunch of black people like just kikiing about like racist stereotypes that we're affected by.
Okay, and what I'll say is I love
What do
how
you think of the $5?
your argument has evolved from what is funny and what is allowed to be funny to what Donald Trump did. I believe your argument initially started out with, "Hey, infidel, do you think blackface is funny?" And I said, "No. At this current point in our society, I don't think that's funny." And then as I
Wait, so in
disproved,
previous aspects of society, do you think it was funny?
I think people used to
No,
think it was
do
funny.
you think it was funny at any point in time?
I exist in this culture, right?
No, but do
And
you
in
think it
this,
was funny at any point in time, under your view?
no, nope,
Okay, so the point that
obviously
we're
not.
making is that you don't think that just because it's common in society for people to hold these things that it's okay to do. You think it's bad to engage in what you perceive as racist jokes, right?
No, no.
They
I
are
think you're
that is
mishearing me.
racism, and you're perpetuating that racism, right? And we're saying that you shouldn't do that.
No, what I'm saying is you need to show me, prove to me, and give me examples of why it's not funny.
The
What?
the
Not just tell me, "Oh, it's not funny," and you have to believe that. If
No,
I
we're saying
it's
it's
not.
racist.
Yeah, sorry, Parker.
Go ahead, you're good.
No, it's not funny because, again, if you normalize that type of rhetoric about marginalized people and you start operating through that prism of dehumanization, you can actively ruin people's lives. So if
in
you
what
think it's
way?
funny to degrade a certain group of people based on stereotypes, and then you become, let's say, the president or you're a politician and you operate through that prism, you can actively affect their lives on a daily basis, which means when, let's say, you are in hiring and you see a certain group of people, and let's say you make fun of, let's say, black people being lazy, and then you see a black person in front of you at a job interview, therefore you choose not to hire them because you automatically think they're lazy. The same thing with Puerto Ricans or Latinos. So again, what I'm trying to say is, what the dominant society says is comedy when it comes to dehumanizing whole groups of people is ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, not comedy because it actively affects people's lives.
Right, and you're clutching pearls, because
I'm
at
not
what
clutching
point?
pearls.
No, at what point did Tony Hinchcliffe say actual Puerto Rican people are garbage? He said the island was, right, not the people, the island. Did
Why
he
is the
not?
island garbage?
I don't know. I guess he assumes that the garbage from the hurricane hasn't been cleaned up, and he thought that would be
Why
a
is
funny
No, he
Greenland
joke.
said
not garbage?
he
Or
also said
He
Iceland?
he
he
said the
didn't
island in of itself is garbage.
he didn't call the people garbage, did he? He
So the
called the
island so you think
island.
the island of Puerto Rico in of itself is garbage. You don't
I
think
don't
that's
know.
like
I
that?
haven't been there. I've never
If
been there.
someone were to say that the United States itself is garbage, like in terms of like the land, do you think that that is going to be like something you consider to be bad?
If they were talking about New Jersey, probably. But I mean, I have no idea. Like, give me
It's not looking
context.
too good.
Isn't this the same person who said Latinos have too many kids?
Me?
Or like or
Yes.
get pregnant too much and have too
Yes.
many kids? Yeah.
Yes.
So
I
how
said
come when
that?
we
No.
hear this type of
That they
rhetoric
don't
about
quote unquote
countries,
pull out. Like,
yeah,
Oh,
when
Tony
we
Hanks,
hear
yeah.
about countries being garbage or shithole
I
countries,
love how you
why are they
moved on
not
to the next
applied to
joke.
like predominantly white countries? Why doesn't anybody ever say Iceland is a piece of garbage or a shithole country, or I don't know, like another like predominantly white country? Why is it always that predominantly black and brown countries are labeled as shithole countries or countries that are garbage or full of garbage? Can you explain that one to me?
I have no idea. Maybe because like Puerto Rico actually is full of garbage. I don't know why he said that. Like, I can't explain a comedian's joke to you.
So why did he say Latinos don't pull out and have too many kids?
Why did George Lopez say all Mexicans steal?
George Lopez, isn't George Lopez Latino? I don't know. Maybe he was
Why
trying to
does that
reclaim.
matter?
he's Mexican.
Why does that matter?
He's Mexican, okay. And the person who said Latinos have like don't pull out, is he Mexican?
Why does that matter?
It definitely matters. It definitely 100% matters. It's kind of like
Okay,
if you're in a
it's
family
not.
and like you make fun of your
No.
sibling. No, if you make fun of your sibling, it's going to be completely different context. So let's say a stranger making fun of your sibling.
No, because when white people say,
Wait, you don't.
all,
Wait, you
no,
think?
can I finish? Because I'm a white man. When white people say
Okay.
all white males are Nazis, I find that
What?
Who said that?
extremely.
who
What?
fucking
I
said
find
that?
I find that extremely
Viking,
offensive.
who the fuck said that?
I'm just saying. Okay.
Who?
let's
No,
say,
name the person. Name one person that ever said that.
Kamala Harris, the Democratic
Kamala
Party.
did not say that. The Democrats did not say that. What the fuck are you talking about?
Bro, a lot of people on your side demonize white people.
Bro, name one person who said explicitly what you just said.
Robin DiAngelo, for example, says that white men are evil in effect.
Wait, Robin D'Angelo? Who's that?
Yeah, she demonizes white men constantly.
Wait, she said all white men are evil?
Yes,
Like word for word said all white men are evil?
by the way, she's literally white herself.
Like you're not even listening to the fucking sense, dude. Like, you gotta be kidding me, dude.
So you brought up a white woman saying that about her own community to justify dehumanizing another
You just
community.
ridiculed me for saying that George Lopez said that all Mexicans are thieves, and you're like, but wait, he is Mexican.
Yeah, so and she's a white woman. So if she as a white woman feels that way, then she can say that. I don't know.
Okay, so do I find offense when she says it? Yes.
I literally just
do
told
other
you.
Mexicans find offense when George Lopez says they're all thieves? Probably. That was my point. How does that not make sense?
That was not a very good point. Like, genuinely, that was not a very good point. I think like the perfect way to understand it is like if you are beefing with your sibling and like you poke fun.
Oh my god.
What did he say?
He said the R slur.
Oh my gosh. I'm not surprised that like ableism is added to that list. But yeah, thank you. I'm gonna drop.
Always good seeing you, Athena.
By the way, the glasses with the outfit, W.
Appreciate it. My girlfriend picked out the style.
No, she has good style. Okay, chef's kiss. Bye.
Appreciate
Me
it.
too. I'm gonna head out, you guys. You guys have a good day. It was nice talking to you guys.
Okay.
You
See you
too.
later, Sherry.
Later.